Yeah, everyone. Today we are looking at a question, okay, or in fact the questions from paper 2. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, this is from page CHUN, by the way. I just realized I didn't say that it's from page CHUN. I'm gonna start from the back. Okay, I'm gonna start from the back instead. Now, as you can see over here, it says that this figure, okay, is made up of 5 identical quarter circle. Okay, one more time, 5 identical quarter circle. All right, so what I want to do is I want to obviously start off, okay, by identifying the radiuses. Okay, as you can see, the radiuses are all there. Okay, and I want to show you something over here. All right, as you can see over here, okay, this part here, can you see this entire thing? This is actually made up of what? What is it made up of? It is made up of a few things, right? Are you able to see it? It is made up of how many radiuses? Okay, this is the total length. Am I making sense? This is the total length. Am I making sense? All right, this total length is made up of a few things. It is made up of how many radiuses? One over here. So this is one itself. True. Two radius, three radius, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3 radius plus 8 and plus 8. Am I making sense or not making sense? That's the reason why I got to 16. True? Now, so don't forget, all right, that you need to look on the other side. All right, the other side, that means to say the bottom side, as you can see over here, the bottom side, okay, it also has a total length of how much? Let me just show it to you. Maybe I'll just use another color first. Okay. So it's everything from here all the way to here. All right. You can see that it is made up of 13 plus a radius plus 7 plus a radius plus 13. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, from here itself, we can see that this is basically 13 plus 7 plus 13. We get to an answer of 33 plus 2 radius. Am I making sense? Now, what I'm trying to tell you really is that they are the same. So what you want to do is you want to form an equation. All right, to form an equation, we basically have to say 3 radius plus 16 is equals to 33 plus 2 radius. Okay, what you want to do is you want to bring it over. So 3 radius minus 2 radius is equals to 33 minus away 16. All right, when I do 33 minus away 16, I can see that 1 radius is actually equals to 17. All right, and this is the reason why your first answer for this question has to be 17 cm. Then we want to move on to the next part, right? The next question says to find the perimeter of the figure. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all of this. Okay, for you guys, I know it's harder for you to erase, or in fact almost impossible. So I want you to use a highlighter and make sure you highlight all of the outside. Okay, make sure you highlight all of the outside. All of the outside has to be highlighted. Okay, because from here itself, you can see that these are the parts that I'm trying to find. Am I making sense? And I tell my students always that, hey guys, you all need to draw a flag. I say that again, a flag. So from here itself, right, how many arc lengths are there? All right, I'm going to count by the arc length. I can see that there are how many arc lengths? 5 arc lengths in total. Am I making sense? So my job first is to find the area of one arc. Sorry, I apologize. The one arc length, the length or the measurement of one arc length. You can see that when it comes to the arc length of a quarter circle, in fact, I will just write off a quadrant. Well, basically means that I will start with 1 over 4. Am I making sense? And I will go with times pi times d. So I just want to do 1 over 4 times 3.14. Okay, that's the first part that I want to do. All right, 1 over 4 times 3.14 times the diameter. What is the meaning of diameter? As you can see over here, the radius is 17, so the diameter has to be 17 times 2. True? So 1/4 times 3.14 times 34. Am I making sense? 1 over 4 times 3.14 times 34, you get to an answer of 26.69. But this is only the arc length of one quadrant. How many arc length do I have? From here itself, you all can see, right? Maybe I'll just label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Agree or disagree? Right, so there are 5 arc lengths in total. So I just want to find 5 arc lengths. I'll simply just have to do 26.69 times 5. Okay, when I do 26.69 times 5, we get to an answer of 133.456 cm. Am I making sense? Now, you get all 5 already. Then what you want to do is you want to basically find the perimeter of the figure. All right, that means to say you're going to go by the flag. You can go by the flag, and then you're just going to add all of these up together. Basically, everything that I've highlighted in yellow. Okay, everything that I've highlighted in yellow. Okay, so yep, so that's how you would do it. Okay, so right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add them up together. I will say 133.45. I will add, what else will I add? I will add, how much is this? This is 17, right? So 133.45 plus 17 plus 8 plus, again, what is this? This is 17, so I'll just add another 17. Okay, you can see I'm going in a very systematic manner. So for you, right, you know, you have to keep referring back. Every time you are done, you want to put a tick. Okay, you want to put a tick. Now I'm moving on to this part, which is also 17, so I'll just add another 17. Okay, then after that, go here. I'll add a 13 over here. After 13, after that, I will add the arc length, which is already done. Then there's a 17 over here, so I'm just going to add a 17. After that, followed by a 7, so I'm just going to add a 7. After a 7, I'm going to add the arc length, which is already added, another 17 over here, so plus 17. And finally, I have a 13 over there, so I will just add 13. Okay, when you press your calculator, make sure you press properly and not carelessly, okay? All right, so when you press your calculator, you will get to an answer of 267.45 cm. Okay, what you want to do is you want to double check again. All right, just press it again. Okay, press it again. And as you are pressing, right, I want you to read out the numbers. Okay, you should get to 267.45 cm, and this is your answer for this question. Now, again, we have to identify the concept, correct or not? Okay, first thing first, over here it says that Joseph has some red, blue, and orange beads. Agree or disagree? First thing first, the 28%, you want to quickly change that to 28 over 100. Am I making sense? Okay, this is it a BNA? I don't think this is a BNA because there isn't any sold or there isn't anything that is received. Agree so far? So I will call this a part-whole relationship because Joseph has all of these beads. All of these beads are what we call my whole. Am I making sense? Okay, so I will first say that my blue is 7 over 25. Do you understand or don't understand? Okay, then after that, I will just bracket and say 7 units. Okay, all right. So now we can see that for orange itself, which one has more, blue or orange? Definitely it is blue, correct now. So orange has to be 7 units minus away 25. Understand? And for red itself, what is my rate? My rate will then be 289. Well, but I know that my total is how many units? 25. Agree or disagree? Now what you want to do is you want to form an equation, right? So we'll just say 7 units, okay? Because you see over here, we're going to write 7 units, which is a part, correct or not? Okay, plus 7 units minus 25. This is my second part. And then I add my third part. I know that that gives me a total of 25 units. Am I making sense? All right, from here itself, we know that this is 14 units. Okay, then over here, this is the tricky part. The minus 25 plus 89. That part itself has to be taken note of. Okay, you press your calculator, it will be minus 25 plus 289, you get to 264. This is actually close to 25 units. Agree or disagree? All right, from here itself, you can see, right, what exactly is this? This is basically how much? This is basically 11 units. So I know that my 11 unit is 264. Okay, what I want to do next is I just simply want to find my 1 unit. All right, so 264 divided by 11, I'll get to 24. Am I making sense? Now the question says, how many blue bits are there altogether? So we are going to find 7 units. So we're just going to do 24 times 7. And that is the reason why your answer has to be 168 blue bits altogether. So in the second part, I know that this is a B and A already, right? In the first part, it is basically part-whole relationship. So second part, you want to draw a table already. Draw a table. Okay, draw a table, and then what you have is basically your red, your blue, and finally you have your orange. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, you want to make sure your tables are drawn nicely. You want to make sure your tables are drawn nicely. You have a before, change, and after. Well, how many do I have for my red? I know my red is 289. For my blue is already found to be 168. For my orange will be 168 minus away 25. Am I making sense? Okay, so 168 minus 25, that gives me 143. Now, what did this person, Joseph, do? Wow, Joseph, that's me. So what did I do? I actually bought more blue. So did I buy any red? No. Did I buy any orange? No. But I added more blue. Agree or disagree? All right. Anything changed to my red? Nothing, right? Anything changed to my orange? Nothing as well. And because I didn't do anything to my red and orange, that means to say my red and orange should remain the same. True? In terms of the percentage, right, what happens is that the percentage of blue bits increase to 64%. True? So I plus how much this is. Again, I don't know what is this, but I know that this is 64%. True? Well, this basically tells you that these two over here, the red and the orange, I don't know the individual, but I know the total. The total is basically 100% minus away 64%. Agree or disagree? All right, that gives me 36%. All right, 36% is actually equals to 289 plus 143. Okay, all right, so 36% is actually equals to 432. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to find my Mr. Green Man, which is my 1%, and my 1% is actually 12. Am I making sense here? Okay, of course, what I want to do now is obviously read the question, right? The question say, how many blue bits did he buy? So we want to find my 64%. We want to find my 64%, okay? So we just have to do 12 times 64 and we get to 768. This means that this person actually, now I can replace this question mark to 768. So how do I find this question mark? Very simple. I just have to simply do, very simple. I just have to simply do 768 minus away 168. I say that again, 768 minus away 168, and I'll get to an answer of 600. And this is the number of blue bits Joseph bought in this question. Bye. Figure X and figure Y below is made up of identical. Keyword here is the word identical. When I say that they are identical, it means that they are the same. Am I making sense or not making sense? All right, same right angle triangles. Okay, the first thing I want to do is to see that the perimeter of figure X is 46. What is figure X? Figure X is made up of length, breadth, breadth. Am I making sense? So this means because by default, we know that in a rectangle, it has to be length and length. Agree so far? So 2 length plus 2 breadth is actually equals to 46 centimeters. I say that again, 2 length plus 2 breadth is equals to 46 centimeters. Am I making sense? And then when I look to my, oh, in fact, you know what? I just want to find 1 length plus 1 breadth first. I want to see whether if this is something that I can get to. All right, so I will get to an answer of 23 centimeters. Am I making sense? Okay. Of course, what I want to do now, I want to move on to the next question, which is this part over here. It says that the perimeter of figure Y is 96 cm. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? It means that everything that is outside, can I just encourage all of you to always highlight the outside? If you don't highlight the outside, right, how are we going to solve the question, right? You want to make sure the outside is highlighted. Am I making sense? Okay, understand that the outside is made up of what? The outside is made up of a slanted height, which we don't know, CD. In fact, there are many CD over here. So we're going to call all of this CD. Okay. And you can see that the length of AB is 17. What is AB? AB is 17 over here, right? So AB is actually all the slanted over here. True? Okay, so from here itself, we can simply say CD. How many CDs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 CD plus 17 times 4 is equals to 96. So 4 CD plus 17 times 4 is equals to 68 is equals to 96. Can you see that? So from here itself, isn't it true that you can find your 4 CD already? Agree or disagree? You just have to do 96 minus away 68. Agree or disagree? All right, so 4 CD is actually equals to 28. Am I making sense here or not making sense? Of course, what I want to do now is obviously find my 1 CD, right? Because the question says the length of CD, just 1 itself will do. Right, you get to 7 cm, and therefore, this is your answer for option A. Now, to find the area of the one right angle, so how do I find area of the one right angle? As you can see over here, this is one of the right angle, right? But you see, in order for you to find the area of one right angle, you need to know the measurements. Am I making sense? You need to know the measurements. Now, so what I can see from here is that when it comes to the measurements, I want to have my breadth and I also want to have my length. And I realized that actually the breadth, or in fact, I say the length is made up of what? The length, I don't know if y'all can see, maybe I just highlight it in maybe pink color. Can you see the length over here? This is the length, true or not? Isn't this the length, which is the one over here? And isn't the length made up of the breadth plus CD? So what we are trying to say is one length is actually equals to breadth plus CD. And we know that one length is actually equals to breadth is what? We don't know, right? But what's my CD? 7. Do you agree or disagree? So instead of calling length, I'm going to replace it to breadth plus 7. This becomes breadth plus 7. Agree or disagree? So I'm going to replace this to breadth plus 7. Teacher Joseph, why are you doing this? Because I'm trying to find out what is my breadth. So I know, very simply put, I know that breadth plus 7 plus breadth. How did I get this? Let me just direct you back all the way up to this question over here, which is this one over here, right? Breadth plus 7 plus breadth is actually equals to 23. So 2 breadth is actually equals to, you bring the 7 over, 23 minus 7, right? Breadth is actually equal to 23 minus 7, that gives me 16. Sorry, I apologize, that's for 2 breadth. So breadth is actually equals to 8. So that means this is actually equals to 8. So can I find the area of the triangle? Very simple, right? I think by now most of you should know to find the area of one right angle triangle, I just have to do half. I just have to do half times base times height. Okay, so what I will do, I will just do half times base times height. What is my base? Let's see for ourselves. Our base is actually what? B plus 7, right? Which is actually equals to 8 plus 7. What's my height? My height over here, as you can see over here, is my 8. Okay, so when I do half times 15 times 8, all right, I will get to an answer of 60 centimeters square. All right, so I'm just going to write 60 centimeters square over here. So therefore, this is my answer for this question. This person had a roll of plays. So what did she do? She used 4/7 of it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to draw 7 parts first. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. He used 4/7 of it. So I want to shade 4 parts to do what? To make 15 similar blouses and 7 similar skirts. When I see something like that, right, it means that whatever that is over here is basically 15 blouses plus 7 skirts. Now, let there be no confusion. This is a question, right? Called remainder of remainder under type. Type what? A or B or C? B. Am I making sense? The key sentence over here, right? The key sentence over here, right, is this part here. You either make everything into blouses or everything into skirt. Because when you have two, right, it's just like units and parts. Am I making sense? You have units and parts. It's very, very confusing. You want to make everything into blouses or everything into skirt. So the question says that the length of the lace used for 5 blouses, when you use for 5 blouses, it is the same. So I will say equal. 3 skirt. Agree or disagree? So I look at what I have. I have 15 blouses, right? So I will park my 15 blouses under this one. True? So I times 3 over here. I will get to what? 9 skirts. Agree or disagree? That means to say you need to start writing it down. What are you gonna write down? You're gonna write that this one over here, it can also be 9 skirt plus 7 skirt, which is equals to 16 skirt. Am I making sense or not making sense? And in fact, I've already answered my first question, correct or not? The question says, how many skirts can he make with the same length of lace used for 15 similar blouse sets? 9 skirts is your answer. Am I making sense or not making sense? So what I want to do next, okay, is to solve the next question. Okay, as you can see, the next question say, what is the greatest number of skirts he can make with 5/6 of the remaining lace? Now, again, they want us to find skirt. Am I making sense? So 5/6 of the remaining lace. So what you want to do is you want to drop it down. In fact, do you need to drop down? No need, right? No need to drop down, right? You just have to split this up into how many parts? Into how many parts? 6 parts. Agree or disagree? Yeah. And then you are going to shade over here. You're going to shade over here. Isn't this quite easy? Right? You're going to shade over here and you're going to say that this is the question mark that I'm going to find. All right, for skirt. Am I making sense? So remember, use back what you have done previously. Okay, use back what you have done previously. The previous part, you can see that 4 units, 4 units is actually for how many? 4 units is actually for 16 skirt. Agree so far? Agree or disagree? Find 1 unit first, right? 1 unit basically means what? 16 divided by 4. Am I making sense or not making sense? Which is equal to 4 skirt. True or not? True or no? True or not? Yeah. Okay, after that, what I want to do next is obviously I want to find how many units are there over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that true? Is that true? No, in fact, this part is wrong. Do you know why this part is wrong? Because we forgot to split. So you must, when I do something to my right, I must do something to my left. If not, it is not equal. Am I making sense? So actually, it should have been 1, 2, 3, 4. What do I mean by 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units is actually equals to how many skirt? 16 skirt. Correct or not? 1 unit is actually equals to how many skirt? What is the greatest number of skirt he can make with the remaining? So over here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units. Agree or disagree? Am I making sense or not making sense? Yeah. All right. So that is the reason why you get to an answer of 10 skirt. And this is your answer for this question. Now. So for question number 13, what I want to do is obviously, right, I want to read the first part. It says that ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram. Because it's a parallelogram, that means this part is parallel. This part is parallel. Am I making sense? E is a point on AB and EDF is a straight line. Very important sentence. Isn't that true? Well, the first thing you want to do really is to find BED. In order for me to find BED, right, I have to ask myself, okay, what other, measurements can I find first? Okay, what other measurements can I find first? What do you see over here? In order for us to find BED, I have a question mark here, right? True? True or not? All right, what is this? What is something that I can find in this situation? Can I find, let's see, can I find DEA first, right? Because this is a triangle, right? Can you all see that this is a triangle? Okay, I'm just going to note down this triangle first. You find whatever you can find first. At least you get started. When you get started, it's as if like you're starting your engine, okay? All right. Okay, something like that. All right. Now, this is 180 degrees minus away 137 degrees minus away 18 degrees. All right. So what you will get over here, when you do 180 minus 137 minus 18, you get to an answer of 25 degrees. Okay. So this part is 25 degrees. Am I making sense or not making sense? All right, you want to find this angle called angle BED, right? All you need to do really is just have to do 180 degrees minus away 25 degrees. And you will get to a beautiful answer of 155 degrees. Okay, I think this is all, I guess most of you can do this question, or in fact, all of you. All right, so this is 155. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, so once this part is done, you want to move on to the next one. They say angle CFD. Where is CFD? CFD is this question mark over here. True, right? Okay, so what you want to do is really just go step by step. I would say to find out what is this angle first, because again, remember, this is a parallelogram. If these and these, can you see these are parallel? It basically means that anything that is within a parallel line, what happens is that they will add up to 180 degrees. So when this is 137 degree, To find out what is this, I simply just have to find this part by really doing something called 180 minus 137 degrees. The reasoning for that is what we call interior angle. So I will just find angle ABD first. All right, I will say angle ABD equals to 180 minus away 137 degrees. When I do 180 minus 137 degrees, I get to an answer of 43 degrees. Am I making sense? All right, over here, I'll write the interior angle. Okay, so this is 43 degrees. Am I making sense? That means to say my opposite, right? Remember my opposite? Opposite is basically how much? Opposite over here is also 43. The entire thing is 43 degrees. All right. I can actually find out this small little part first. I can actually find out this small little part, which is angle CDE. Okay, so I will just find angle CDE. I will just have to do basically 43 degrees minus away 18 degrees. When I do 43 minus 18, I get to 25 degrees. What I want to do is I want to note down that this is 25 degrees. Remember just now they say that this is a straight line. Okay, so because this is a straight line, right, we can actually find this part over here, which is what we call angle CDF. Okay, angle CDF. Is that what they're asking us to find? Not really, but we are getting really close. Okay, so 180 minus 25 degrees, I'll get to an answer of 155 degrees. Now, because you know that this 155 degrees, okay, which is amazing, all right? So you know that this 155 degrees, your job really is to find out what is angle CFD. Angle CFD is equals to 180 degrees minus away 155 degrees minus away 15 degrees. What do I mean by that? How do I know that? Because this is a triangle. This is a triangle, right? So we can find out that part, right? We can find out that part. 180 minus 155 minus 15. And that is the answer for this question. So as you can see over here, first thing first, right? We know that the boys and girls, they are equal, correct? So that means they both have to be the same. In terms of denominator, numerator, all has to be the same, correct? Not. And what happens is that in group A itself, right, we have two types, right? One is called boys, another one is called girls. Agree so far? 1:3. For group B, for boys is to girls, it's what? 5:2. True? Now, but you see, because there are different groups, right? So that means to say, different groups, that means the total is different, right? If the total is different, on this side, you have to use all units. Over here, you have to use all parts. Agree or disagree? So we'll say 1 unit is to 3 units. Make sense or don't make sense? In ratio, we don't put units, right? But I just wanted to show it to you. 5 parts is to 2 parts. Agree or disagree? But do you remember just now in the earlier part, I kept highlighting what? That the boys and the girls are the same. So 5 parts, which is boys. I talk about the boys first. Boys is 5 parts plus, true, is equals to 2 parts plus. Am I making sense? Right? Because boys is equals to girls, right? True or not? Okay. So right now you're going to group them up. I'm going to say 5 parts, so I'm going to continue from here. This process is called same family sit together. All right, 5 parts minus away 2 parts. Why do I do that? Because I want to bring this over. Correct or not? Then the 3 units I bring over is equals to 3 units minus away 1 unit. So 3 parts is equals to 2 units. So we will find 1 unit first. We want to make everything into parts right now. Okay, we want to make everything into parts. So I divide by 2. I will divide by 2. Over here, I get 1.5 parts. Am I making sense or not making sense? So now I know 1 unit means 1.5 parts. Okay, 1 unit means, instead of saying 1 unit, I cancel this. I will call this 1.5 parts. Instead of calling 3 units, I cancel this. Very good. Why? Why? Because 3 units, I will times 3, right? True or not? So over here, you get the 4.5 parts. Am I making sense? So times 3 here, right? So I will change this to 4.5 parts instead. Agree or disagree? And very nicely, they want us to find the number of children in group A. In group A, how many in group A? 6 parts. True? Over here, how many? 7 parts. True? So group A, 6. Group B, 7. Make sense or don't make sense? All right, so when you want to solve the next part, it will also be the same. Instead of using units or whatnot, you just use parts. Am I making sense? All right, so from here, you all can see, right? Okay, you just have to add everything up together. All right, you should be able to, or not you should, you must be able to get to the answer, all right, as well. Okay, yep, so that's all I have for you for this question. Okay, so for question number 3, as you can see over here, right, it says that a tank was 5/7 filled with water at 1 p.m. Am I making sense? So this point over here, all right, this point over here really is 5/7. Am I making sense? Okay, so this point over here is 5/7. True? All right, so we can confidently say that 5/7 is basically equals to 120 liters. Make sense or don't make sense? And then we are going to find 1/7 first, right? How do I find 1/7? We just simply have to do 120 divided by 5. Make sense or don't make sense? All right, so when I do that, I get to 24 liters. Do you agree or disagree? Then you want to find the capacity, right, which is 7/7. Agree or disagree? Right, capacity means the total, right? What the thing can hold. Agree or disagree? 160 is the total. True? So at the end of 2 hours, where is end of 2 hours? 13, 2 hours later will be 14, 14, 15. Correct now? Very good. I love that you put 30 over here, right? This is 30 liters, right? The question says, what fraction of the tank was filled with water? Means water at 2 p.m. over the total. Sorry, not 2 p.m. It should be what? 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Right? After 2 hours, right? Water at 3 p.m. over the total. Can you understand or don't understand? Okay, what do you think is the water at 3 p.m.? 30. What do you think is the total? What do you think is the total in this situation? Huh? Sorry, how much? Very good. So 30 over 168. Can you understand or don't understand? All right, so when you do that, you get to an answer of 5/28. In this situation, they're asking for fractions, so therefore there should be no units, and this is your answer for this question. Now over here, it says that a group of 5 boys, okay, 5 boys, they booked a badminton court for how many hours? 3 hours. Whenever you do questions like that, you always want to get to 1 boy first. You get what I'm trying to say? That gives me 3/5 hours. Agree or disagree? Then now there are 4 boys playing, right? So you're just going to find four boys over here. You go 3/5 times 4. Am I making sense or not making sense?
Yeah.
All right. So then you will get to an answer of 2/5 hours. And that's your answer. But you have to obviously convert. Okay, you have to convert. How do you convert that to minutes? You just have to times 60 over here. True?
Yeah.
True or not? All right. So you times 60, then you get to 144 minutes, right? Yeah. All right. The question says, leave your answers in minutes, and that's the reason why your answer for this question has to be 1/4. Okay, hi everyone. Today we are looking at question number 9, which is a question that a lot of students they struggle with. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to understand, right? It says that tank A and tank B are two rectangular tanks. Very important, right? Right. Tank A contains some water and tank B is empty. Oh my goodness, this part on it being empty is so important. It means it doesn't have any volume excess, right? So what I did was I poured some water from here to here, and this is what we call internal transfer. Why? Because it's A to B, the total will still remain the same. Now, there are two methods to go about this. You either use difference or you use something called algebra. Okay, I'm going to explore these two methods today. And you, as a student, right, you have to have the uncanny ability to find out the method that gives you that aha moment, that light bulb moment. You get what I'm trying to say now? You must be like, oh, you understand what I'm saying now? Right? If you can, oh, okay, very, very easy. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, then we just use that, feeling to go and help us as a motivation to do more questions. Now, I use the difference first, can? I use the difference part first, okay? So let's say, for the difference part, I ask you a question, okay? Water pour from A to B, the height of the water in tank A decreases by 5. So it dropped by 5, right? Why is it that it dropped by 5? Because this 5 went to, absolutely. So what do you think is the difference? You see, I asked you a question, this became 5, right? Let's say if this became 5, right? And then this became what? 8 cm. Can you understand? So what is their difference in their height? In this situation, it's height, right? Do you agree or disagree? Which is 8 cm minus 5, which is equals to 3 cm. True?
Yeah.
There is a difference in height for sure, right? Because A is what? Bigger or smaller? We don't. Okay, in this situation, I believe it's bigger, right? What is the difference in base area? They also told us, right? I'm trying to write down everything. I know a lot of you will, let's say if I don't talk about difference, all of you will know how to do height lah. You all know the base area, then you know you need the times and things like that, right? Okay, in this situation, it's about difference. Why do you know it's 15? Because you read the question first. Okay, the base area of tank A is 15 cm greater than the base area of tank B. Agree so far? So the base area of, the difference in the base area is 15 centimeters squared. Am I making sense? Do you understand or don't understand?
Yeah.
Now, what else can I find? Because you see, there must be a difference in volume, right? Why is there a difference in volume? What do you think is the difference in volume? The difference in volume is basically the amount. Absolutely. Oh, why 15? No, it's not 15 times 3. It's the amount that was poured out. And you see, remember
From
B is
A,
empty, you know? B is empty.
Yeah.
B has nothing at all.
Yeah.
So from A, the water that came out is the difference.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Correct? So imagine this has 200 ml, correct or not? This has 0 ml.
Yeah.
Now this has 120 ml. Where did this 120 came from? It came from here.
Yeah.
This is minus 120 ml, right? Imagine this. Can you see that? What is this 120? This is the water that came out, right?
Yeah.
True? Now, so same thing over here. The difference in volume has to be, like I said, ready? How do you find volume? You do base area times height. But I want the difference in volume. So I have to use the difference in base area, which is 15 times the height of water that came out, which is, it decreases by 5, right? So times 5. You understand what I'm saying? Right? 15 times 5. This amount is the difference, which is 75 what? Centimeter. You understand what I'm saying? Can?
Yeah.
So if I know this, right, what I want to do now, okay, I can find what else can I find?
The actual volume.
Right, I can find the base area now, right?
Okay.
Because I can use the difference in volume divided by the difference in height. Agree so far?
Yeah.
Right? I can find that, right? And when I do difference divided by difference, what happens? No more difference, right? Yeah, correct. So we have 75 divided by 3, correct now? Which is actually equals to 25 centimeter squared. And this is the base area of B. This is the base area of B. This is the base area of B. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are they asking us for the base area? No, what are they asking us for? Absolutely. Absolutely. Volume of water where? They say volume of, correct, into B, right? Volume of water into B, correct now? Which is the base area. Again, to find volume, we just have to do base area times the height. Am I making sense? Which is 25 times, oh, a lot of you don't know whether it's 5 or 8, right? But the amount of water that is poured into B means 8. Why 8? Because B has nothing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're using this, right? Yeah, so you just have to times the 8 and then you get to the total volume. Correct now? And we will get to an answer of 200 centimeter cube. Make sense? Now, if this is confusing for you, hold on to this, hold on to that confusion. All right, now I'm going to just help you by introducing algebra. Okay? Now, first thing first, let me erase all of this. So since I'm going to use algebra, I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Whenever we do volume, right, if you've watched my previous videos, right, you will see that I use a lot of sentences or phrases like let the height be h. So in this situation, I don't know what is the height. I just know that the height is h. True? I just let the height be h first. True? Okay. So if the height is h, okay, I'm just going to say let the height of A be h. Agree so far?
Yeah.
So what is my total volume at first? Let's find our total volume of A. Am I making sense? What is it? It will be my base area times my height. True? What is my base area for tank A? 1 unit. Make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, it is not. It's 1 unit plus 15. Why? Because the base area of A is greater by 15.
Yeah.
So that means to say the base area of B is 1 unit. So what is the total volume of A? 1 unit plus 15 times H. That gives me H unit times 15H. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so that is the starting volume.
Yeah.
And this H unit times 15H cannot change at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, how much water came out? We learned, right? We learned that 5 decreases by 5 cm, right?
Yeah.
That means to say this 5 cm came out of the tank A.
Yeah.
So we are going to find water. We're going to find water out from TA. TA stands for tank A. Am I making sense here? How do I find water out from tank A? What is the formula or what is the, the trigger words that I need to use to find water out? Okay. Okay, so how much water came out? How much water came out? 5 cm, right? Yeah, to find water, it means that I have to do base area times height, correct or not?
Yeah.
What is my base area for tank A? 1 unit plus 15. Agree or disagree? So how do I find my total volume that came out? You can see from here, right? It's basically 5 times 1 unit plus 15. Agree so far? Agree so far? All right. Why not H anymore? Because I know that the volume that came out, sorry, the height, right, of water that came out is 5, right?
Yeah.
So over here, this becomes 5 units plus 75. Okay, this water came out now. 5 units plus 75. Understand or don't understand?
Yeah.
And this 5 units plus 75 came out. So I'm just going to show over here minus 5 unit plus 75, right?
Yeah.
It went into the tank B.
Tank B.
How much is the water that went into tank B? Into TB, we learned that the base area is 1 unit, right? What is the height? The height is 8 cm, right? They say increase to 8 cm, right?
Yeah.
Or increase by 8 cm, right?
Yeah.
What is the volume? The volume is 8 times 1 unit, which is equals to 8 unit. This is a bit like number x value, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, guys, you all must understand this, right? This 8 units, is the water that is in tank B now.
Yeah.
But how much water went into tank B? 5 units plus 75, you know. So isn't it true that they are the same?
Yeah.
So 5 units plus 75 is equals to 8 units. Agree so far?
Yeah.
So 3 units equals to 75. 1 unit is equals to 25. Remember just now we say 1 unit is what? Base area. True?
Yeah.
We say let the height of A be H, right?
Yeah.
So H is for height, right? Base area is using 1 unit. Am I making sense? So what are you going to do now? You're going to solve the question. The question says, what is the volume of water, right, that is poured from A into tank B? So how do you find the volume of water that is poured from A into tank B, which is the height over here, right?
Yeah.
Since you know 1 unit, which is the base area, is 25, what do you think is the height? Very good. The height is 8, right? So what do you do to find the volume that is poured? Volume poured, very good. And that's about it. Can understand? So over here, you just have to do 25 times 8, all right? And you get to an answer of 200 centimeter cubed. This is your answer for this question. Mrs. Shirley had red and green apples for sale, right? That's the first sentence. True? Right? In this situation, I can see that this is a B&A for sure, right? Is it a rainbow B&A? No, it is a True? All right. Now, but this is fairly simple. So what you want to do is you want to draw a table first. You want to have your red over here, have your red over here, have your green over here. Okay? Have your red over here, have your green over here. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to say my B4, right? But I don't know what's my B4. True? All right, but one thing I know for sure is that 3/4 of the episode were, so 3/4 is over here. True? If this is 3/4, that means to say if 3/4 of the episode, right? That means they just want us to fix our eyes on this part over here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They say 3/4 of the episode were red.
Yeah.
Do you understand? All right. And she sold how many?
200.
Exactly. So this is 240. You get what I'm trying to say? So we can in fact say already that 3/4 is actually equals to 240, right? Then we will just find 1/4, right? How do I find 1/4? 240 divided by 3, which is equals to 80. So this is 80. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Now, then they also say she also sold 2/5 of her apples. That means they are trying to tell us that this is 2/5 and these 2 parts.
Yeah.
What is these 2 parts? 240 plus 80. True? This must be 5/5, which is 5 parts. True? Can you understand?
Yeah.
So 2/5 is 320, right? 1/5 is 320 divided by 2, which is 160. Find your 5/5. Agree or disagree? All right, this is 800. True? This is 800, yeah? Can I understand or not understand? All right, so this becomes 480, which is also my 3/5, which is also my 2 parts. Actually, 3 parts. Agree so far?
Yeah.
Sentence number 3. 3/8 of the apples left unsold were, that means this is over 3/8. This must be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are actually, this question, right, is getting us to focus on just, right, horizontally, okay? So what we can say is 8/8. Why 8/8? Because 5/8 plus 3/8, right? So 8/8 is actually equals to how much? Then 1/8 is actually equals to how much? 480. Very good. 480 divided, right, equals to 60. True? Then we want to find 1/8 is out, right? Mr. Greenman ready, yeah? How many red apples did Mrs. Shirley have for sale at first? This is the question mark that I'm trying to look for.
Yeah.
So we'll have 5 over 8, which is equals to 300. Am I making sense? So this is 300, right? How do I find the one lot? Minus or plus? Minus or plus? Minus or plus? Why? Very good. You want to work backwards. Am I making sense? So rate at first will then be 300 plus 240. And this is the reason why your answer for this question has to be 540. Hi everyone, if you like this video, you can click right here for a similar video, or you can view our playlist here.